There was a rule in the Holloway house. Never let them in. It was never explained. It was never questioned. It simply was. Like the way the shadows in the hallway never matched the light source. Or how the house grew unnaturally quiet between 2:33 and 2:34 a.m. Or the seventh step on the staircase that groaned like something dying beneath it. Eleanor Holloway was 12 when her parents died in a car crash. She inherited the house on Briar Hollow Road, a place she hadn't lived in since she was 4, and came under the care of her reclusive Aunt Miriam, who moved back in only because of Eleanor. Miriam never explained why the door at the end of the third-floor hallway was never to be touched. She simply told Eleanor on her first night back, "If you hear knocking after midnight, no matter how polite it sounds, no matter how much it pleads, no matter if it calls you by name, never let them in." It came 3 nights after Eleanor's 13th birthday. At 2:13 a.m., the silence of the house deepened like a held breath. The knock was gentle, polite. Knock, knock, knock. Then a voice, soft as silk and just on the edge of familiar. "Eleanor, you dropped your necklace in the hallway. Want me to bring it to you?" Her necklace was on her nightstand. She sat frozen in bed, her eyes on the closed door to her room. She knew better than to answer. Miriam's rules were iron. Knock, knock, knock. "It's so cold out here. Can I come in?" The voice had changed, lower, sadder. Still, she remained quiet. It stopped. The house exhaled. The next morning, she asked Miriam who it was. Her aunt didn't speak. She only lit a match and held it until it burned down to her fingers. Over the following weeks, Eleanor noticed something peculiar. Hairline cracks spidering out from corners of the ceilings, from behind mirrors, around light switches. Sometimes they twitched, sometimes they breathed. She began hearing laughter behind walls, whispers in vents, soft, crawling sounds inside the attic she was told never to open. One morning, she found muddy footprints leading from the third-floor door to her bedroom door, and back again. Miriam scrubbed them clean without a word, her hands shaking the entire time. On Halloween, Miriam disappeared. Eleanor woke to find the house too quiet. No wind, no creaks, no birds. The third-floor hallway was colder than the rest of the house. Frost rimmed the edges of the forbidden door. On the floor in front of it, Miriam's crucifix necklace, broken. There was no knock that night, no voice, but Eleanor knew something was different. The next evening she found the door, ajar. Inside, only darkness. But deep within, a shape moved. Or perhaps it watched. Or perhaps it simply waited. Then the voice returned. It no longer pretended. "Let me in, Eleanor. I've been so patient." She slammed the door shut, but it whispered through the keyhole. "You're the last Holloway now." Eleanor found Miriam's hidden journal, buried beneath the floorboards in her aunt's room. They came from behind the veil, fed on fear, on broken promises. It started with Grandfather Henry. He opened the door to talk. Just once, he let them in. He let them whisper. He let them plant things in the walls, in the air. The house is their nest now. The door is not a door. It is a wound. They want a host, a family, a Holloway. We were chosen. We are cursed. And now only one rule remains: never let them in. It came again the following week, this time louder. Bang, bang, bang. And the voice was her mother's. "Sweetheart, it's me, Mommy. I came back." Eleanor cried for an hour, hand hovering over the doorknob. It called her every night after that, sometimes as her father, sometimes as Miriam, sometimes as herself, begging on the other side. But she remembered the rule. She never let them in. Until the night the house whispered, "But Eleanor, you already did." The house was alive now. Eleanor could feel it in her bones, in the cold that never left, in the heartbeat thrumming faintly through the floorboards. Since the night it whispered, "You already did." The shadows had changed. They didn't wait for darkness anymore. They moved in daylight. They watched her. And worse, they remembered her name. She hadn't touched the third-floor door since that night. but something had. The once dusty brass doorknob was now polished. The scratches around the frame were new. One morning, the door was wide open again. This time, she didn't see a room beyond it. She saw another hallway. Not one that belonged in the house. This one was narrower, damp. Flickering lights buzzed above. The wallpaper looked wet. Eleanor took one step in, and the floor pulsed beneath her like a throat swallowing. She stumbled back, slamming the door shut. But later that night, her bedroom had changed. The poster she'd taped above her bed was gone. Her dresser had moved 3 inches to the left. The color of the walls, not the same blue. Something was replacing the world inch by inch. On the third Wednesday of November, Eleanor caught her reflection blinking a second too late. Then it smiled, even though she hadn't. "You're starting to see," it said. "That means they're almost ready." She smashed the mirror with her hairbrush, but the glass didn't shatter. Instead, it bent inward, like skin. In the attic, long forbidden, she found them. Letters tied with black string and sealed with wax the color of dried blood. They were addressed to names she didn't recognize. To Rebecca Holloway, 1884. "Your son has spoken with them again. We will lose another if you don't burn the tongue." To Martin Holloway, 1937. "You left the window open. They took your wife's voice. We warned you. Now she speaks with their mouths." To Miriam Holloway, 1997. "You are the last of us with the sight. Keep the door shut. Even if Eleanor knocks." She dropped the last letter, her name, in a letter written before she was born. The voice changed again. It no longer whispered behind doors. It followed her, into her room, into her head. "Eleanor, do you want to be safe? Let us in. Do you want your mother back? Let us in. Do you want to stop being alone? Let us in." And worse than the voice was the silence that followed. The house holding its breath, waiting to see what she would do. One night, she woke to find writing on her ceiling, written in her own handwriting. "I said yes." She hadn't written it. Had she? That winter, Eleanor met Clara. A girl her age, barefoot, smiling, dressed like she was from another century. Clara said she lived just down the hall and had been lonely for a very long time. At first, Eleanor was cautious, but Clara wasn't like the voices. She could touch things. She cast shadows. She made jokes. She knew secrets about the house that no one else could have known. Then one night, Clara looked at her and said, "The door's not to keep them out. It's to keep you in." And she vanished into the wall. Eleanor is changing now. She sees things no one should see. A second moon rising sometimes, only in reflections. Children with no eyes watching from across the street. Her own shadow lagging behind her, mouthing things she hasn't said. She doesn't remember the last time she slept, or ate, or blinked. But she knows they're close. They've been inching in through the cracks, wearing her memories, wearing her face. And one night, Eleanor sees herself at the foot of her bed, grinning. "I let them in," it says. "Now it's your turn to leave."